Over the last few days, there has been a heightened security situation in the country and the region at large. Kenya has particularly been on high alert, especially after 3 dangerous terrorists escaped from the highly protected Kamiti Maximum Prison on Monday morning, prompting the president to make drastic changes in the prisons department. The situation has, however, caused a number of questions about the government's preparedness in matters security. Is there more that meets the eye? Our reporter Daniel Anunda had a sit-down with a security analyst, George Musamali, and prepared the following story.
What might be the reason behind the recent security breach at the Maximum Prison?
This is a question that we're supposed to be asking the government, because Kamiti is not just another prison. We have categories of prisons in this country. We have low security prison, we have medium security prison, and we have maximum security prisons. And the security arrangements in all these 3 categories are different. The security measures are different. The facilities, the equipment that is used to secure these institutions are different. When you talk about a maximum security prison, we have 3 layers of security. We have the outer cordon, the inner cordon, the outer cordon, the second cordon, and then the inner cordon. So for a prisoner, especially a convicted terrorist, to walk out of this kind of institution, then it means we have serious security breaches, serious security gaps that need to be addressed urgently. I heard about omissions by the wardens, but I don't believe that is the problem. Because if it's about laxity and omissions, we have other hardcore criminals. We have people on the death sentence. We have people who have been imprisoned in life. They could have taken advantage of this and walked out. I see 2 things. Number 1, infiltration by the enemy, whereby we have insiders that are working with the terror group that helped in planning and executing this escape. Number 2, and this has been a cancer in this country for a very, very long time, corruption. Money must have exchanged hands to facilitate the escape of these 3 terror convicts. And we've been talking about this, and we are not looking at it only at the prisons. There's a UN report that said even police manning roadblocks along the borders, the Kenya-Somali border, are being bribed to allow weapons to cross the border and get into the country. So these 2 must have been in play at Kamiti for it to be possible for these 3 to escape. This escape needed elaborate planning, and it needed financial support. It needed financing. Who has the capacity to do that? It was not planned yesterday, it was not planned the other day. It took months for this to be planned, and it needs resources. So who has that kind of resource?
Is the change of guard at the helm of the prisons a solution or a mitigating factor to the current situation that we're facing right now?
That's a knee-jerk reaction by the government, because the public was out there. There was a public outcry. Something needs to be done. And I've always said that we should copy from the Japanese. Somebody should take responsibility for this kind of breaches. Yeah? Somebody should have fallen on his sword. Not only the Commission of Prison, we have a minister in charge of prisons in this country. We have the CS. Were they making periodic visits to that facility? Were we doing periodic threat and risk assessments at the facilities? Probably we were not. Yeah? And somebody noticed these gaps, used those gaps to arrange the escape of these 2. So even the change of guard is not enough, not unless we look at what happened, do a proper threat and risk analysis, and make sure that all the gaps that have been identified from there are covered. And we make sure that any person that was involved in planning and executing the escape is brought to book. When we have dangerous people like those terrorists in an institution, then we should always be checking at our systems. Things change. We should always be checking at what we had. What we had, security-wise, what we had yesterday can be irrelevant today. And that is why I'll give an example of the 90s. When we had the likes of Koigi Wamwere in Kamiti, the GSU were deployed there to assist the prisons department take care of those persons that were considered then dangerous to the security of this country.
Now, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. It is a situation that is ongoing, and you have to take action and make sure that you're safe, and at the same time, be aware of your surrounding to be and feel safe. And report any incident that is unfamiliar to the nearest police station. Reporting for Switch TV, I'm Daniel Anunda.